The amount of ball knowledge that you guys are about to hear in this video is off the charts. So to start things off, we are on a 5-1 NFL run. Yesterday's college football, I'm recording before it ends, but we're currently 1-0, so doing well right now. And in our VIP group, we're up 219 units. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's picks, and be sure to give me a few minutes of your time because you're gonna want to see this. The first pick I have for you guys on our slip is Evan Engram over 45.5 yards. So listen to me just for a minute. The receiving leaders last year of 2023 in receptions: CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Evan Engram. Nobody seems to know that. Evan Engram was 4th in the NFL in receptions last season. And that's not it, because the Jaguars, they got rid of Calvin Ridley, they cut Zay Jones, so they have 251 vacated targets. Do you guys understand how insane that is? That means out of every game played for Trevor Lawrence, 13 of his passes, the receiver he was throwing to, is not on the team anymore. Yes, they bring in Brian Thomas Jr. Yes, they bring in Gabe Davis. But Evan Engram is a key part of this offense. And on top of that, the Miami Dolphins receiving defense against tight ends is bottom 10, or bottom 11, excuse me. You can see he's hit this line 6 of his last 7 games dating back to last year. And that's with Calvin Ridley and these guys in. So that is a no-brainer pick. Add that one to the slip. That is probably my favorite pick of the day for Sunday. The second pick I have for you guys is going to be Bijan Robinson, higher than 63.5 rushing yards. And before I get into this analysis, because it is a really good one, I'm going to slap you if you're on PrizePicks, please, because, guys, PrizePicks, they give you worse payouts on these 3-mans. What are you doing? Jump on Underdog. When you use our code PISTONS, you get a free square on Dak. So if you're betting on the NFL and you're not on Underdog yet, you get this free square on Dak. You get a 50% deposit bonus. So you put in 200, you're going to get 300 to bet with. You put in 10 bucks, you're going to get 15. So you get the deposit bonus, you get this free winner on Dak. And then on top of that, I've already showed you how much our group is winning over here. And so send us a screenshot when you use our promo code PISTONS to deposit on Underdog. And I'm also going to throw in a free month of our VIP group, which is normally $100 a month. I'm going to put the email on screen somewhere in the next couple seconds, but thanks, guys. So the next pick I have for you on our slip is going to be Bijan Robinson, higher than 63.5 rushing yards. So you might be looking at the trends being like, bro, he only hit this in 4 of his last 10. You first have to understand that Atlanta is a completely different situation this year versus last year. So let me give you an overall look of the scheme of things. If you're new, or if not, I don't know. But Bijan Robinson came into the year last season as the 9th overall pick to the Atlanta Falcons. He was touted to be the best running back in the draft since probably Ezekiel Elliott, who went 4th overall to the Cowboys, maybe 2016, I believe it was. So Bijan Robinson comes in and he has Arthur Smith as his head coach. Arthur Smith last year is known for rushing offenses. He ran the ball a ton, but he ran it way too much with Tyler Algier. And Tyler Algier is good, but he was running some crazy plays, like backup tight ends were catching more passes than the starting tight end. Basically, they kicked him out, and now they bring in a completely new offense where they come out and say, yeah, Bijan Robinson is going to be the workhorse here. On top of that, they bring in Kirk Cousins, so the linebackers on the opposing defense aren't going to be collapsing down on the running backs anymore because they know what's coming. Kirk Cousins can actually air it out, and on top of that, the Falcons have a top 3 O-line in the NFL. Last season, they were ranked number 2, according to PFF, and then in run blocking grade, they were ranked number 4. So you're getting an above average, if not an elite offensive line, an elite running back, and then on top of that, the Steelers' defense was bottom 10 against running backs last season. And I know some people are going to be like, well, but they got Patrick Queen. Like, it's still their first game together. It's going to probably take a few games for them to all mold together. Guess we'll have to see. But that's the second pick on our slip. I think that's an easy over. The third pick on our slip that we're going to be taking is CeeDee Lamb, and be sure to stick around because I'm going to give you guys some additional bonus picks at the end. So CeeDee Lamb, higher than 79.5 receiving yards, is the third and final pick on our slip. Again, this is on Underdog for the last time. Just get on Underdog. You're getting such better payouts. You're getting all that stuff. You get the free month in our group when you use the code PISTONS, the deposit bonus. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb, higher than 80 receiving yards. Guys, last season, CeeDee Lamb, from weeks 8 to the end of the season, was the best wide receiver in the NFL. That is not up for debate. You can go check all the stats. And this is coming from someone that is a diehard Eagles fan. I've told you this many times. I'm very unbiased into betting and fantasy football, all this stuff. CeeDee Lamb, from weeks 8 to the end of the year, was the best receiver in the NFL. The weeks 1 to 8, it was probably a mix of Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown. But they pretty much figured out last season, like, hey, Tony Pollard, he isn't as good as he used to be. Two, CeeDee Lamb's our best player. And that's exactly what's going to happen this season. If the Cowboys want to win games with their offense, it's going to have to go through CeeDee Lamb. I mean, yes, they have Brandon Cooks. They have Jake Ferguson. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're definitely above average players. But they're not commanding a significant work role every single game. Jake Ferguson's probably going to get his 4 for 50. Brandon Cooks is probably also going to get his 4 for 50. The running back situation in Dallas is Zeke, Dalvin Cook, Rico Dowdle. I think Rico Dowdle might be pretty good. But, like, there is nothing on this Dallas offense except CeeDee Lamb as in terms of stars. Yes, I think Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback, actually. Specifically in the regular season. Postseason, that's up for debate as well. Cowboys fans, you can debate me on that. I think he's definitely good in the postseason, but not anything special. And I don't think that's actually debatable. But there is the 3-man slip on Underdog, and then I'm going to give you guys some additional picks courtesy of Daily Grind Fantasy. So if you haven't checked out Daily Grind Fantasy before, this is basically an optimizer tool. So they basically use math to kind of show you the best values in the market. This is a nice little research tool. Again, we have a code down below if you want to check it out. So for example, I just head over to Underdog and I'm going to filter it to NFL and grab a couple lines that I like for you guys. And this is all live in real time, so this is just me looking at it. So you can see they compare it. So for example, Jerome Baker over tackles plus assists over 7. The reason they're giving this to us this line is because the sports books are favoring it super heavily to go over 6.5. You can see it there. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers under 35.5 or 34.5. This is probably my favorite one, to be honest. You can see the sports books minus 130, minus 130, minus 135, minus 140. So Aaron Rodgers under 34.5. Again, that is a Monday night game, but that would probably be an alternate that I would add into your slip, the Aaron Rodgers under, if you really need one. Another one I really like, Jahmyr Gibbs over on receiving yards. That's a pretty good one. I'm not going to give you a full write-up on that here. But there is the full 3-man slip. Another thing I would recommend, guys, use math in betting. So what I mean by that, you don't even have to know the math. But if you're on PrizePicks right now, you can see right here, we give this chart to our clients to basically tell them the most optimal slip type. So when you bet on PrizePicks, when you click more or less, your payout doesn't change unless you do something called correlation. But for the most part, your payout does not change for 99% of your picks. This is because they have fixed odds. So if you do a 5-man, you get X payout. You do a 3-man, you get X payout. It's the same thing every time. It's not like that in normal betting, like on FanDuel, DraftKings, etc. So what really smart people can do, smarter than me, smarter than you, is they can reverse engineer it and basically figure out, okay, what are the implied odds? Basically meaning, what hit rate do we need to be profitable on each slip? And they basically went through and figured that out for every single app. And you can see on PrizePicks, on a 5-man slip, you need to hit about 54.5% of your picks. It says minus 119. I'm doing the math because I have a video in the description. Just watch that if you're confused. But long story short, if you bet 2-mans, if you bet 3-mans on PrizePicks, you need to hit about 58, 59% of your picks to be profitable. So you're better off moving to 5-mans because you only need to hit 54.5%. Same exact picks, just in a bigger slip. 54.5%, you'll be profitable. If you hit 54.5% on 2-mans and 3-mans, you'll be negative. So that's why I always say jump over to Underdog, because they give you better payouts on your 3-mans. They give you similar payouts on your 5-mans, and they give you better payouts on 6-mans. So it's a complete no-brainer, as I've said a million times. Get on Underdog, use the code PISTONS, send us that screenshot, you get the free month in our group. There is the 3-man slip that I have for you guys, as I said. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments, and hopefully we can get another sweep. Hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you all tomorrow.